Hello and welcome to this lecture. In this lecture, we will learn the basics of HCL. HCL is the abbreviation of the HashiCorp Configuration Language, the language on which is based the Terraform Configuration Language that we use to write Terraform configuration files to tell Terraform what plugins to install, what infrastructure to create, and to describe the desired state that we want our infrastructure to look like. Before talking about HCL, the language that we use to write a Terraform configuration file, you have to know that the name of a Terraform configuration file must end with the .df extension, and this enables Terraform to understand and to treat the content of the file. The HashiCorp configuration language consists on two main concepts, which are arguments and blocks. We will discuss first of all what are arguments, and then we will see what are blocks. When we talk about an argument in HCL, we talk about a key value pair, which represents an assignment of a particular value to a specific name. For example, for the key value pair that we have here, we are assigning the value file.txt to file name. The name before the equal sign is the name of the argument, and the value after the equal sign represents the argument's value. The same for the content argument. Here we are assigning the value welcome to Terraform to content, so content is the name of the argument, and the text welcome to Terraform is the value given to this argument. Let's move now to the concept of blocks in HCL. A block in the HashiCorp configuration language is a container for other content, starting with an opening curly brace which indicates the beginning of the block body, and ending with a closing curly brace which indicates the end of the block body. We will see what we can put in the body of the block in a few minutes. What we have to know here is that a block must be always preceded with a keyword representing the block type, which will specify the purpose of this block. In other words, why we are declaring and using this block. And depending on the block type, a set of labels must be mentioned between the keyword representing the block type and the opening curly brace, which indicates the beginning of the block body. We have many types of block, and here are a few types that we will use a lot when working with Terraform. To understand more the differences between block types, let's see an example of using a block of type resource and another block of type input. We want here to declare two blocks, one for creating a resource, for example a file, and another block for declaring an input variable. The two blocks will have the same structure, so both of them are delimited with curly braces. We will not focus now on the content of these blocks. The first thing that will make these blocks different from each other is the block type. The first block is used for creating a resource, so it must be of type resource. So whenever you want to create a resource with Terraform, you have to declare a block of type resource. For the second block, it is used to declare an input variable, so the type of this block must be input. And we have seen that depending on the block type, you have to add a set of labels after the block type. For a block of type resource, we have to add two labels. One representing the resource type, it means what you want to create or to provision, and the second representing the name that you want to give to this resource. For example, here we want to create a file, so the resource type must be local file, and we want to call this resource myFile. We will learn later more about blocks of type resource in one of the upcoming lectures. The main purpose of this illustration is to understand the differences between two blocks of different types. For the second block, which is of type input, only one label is required, which represents the name given to this input variable. So here we are using a block of type input to declare an input variable called file name. Let's move now to the content of a block and see what we can put in the block body between the curly braces. In the block body between the curly braces, a set of arguments can be mentioned, and this depends on the block type. And if the block is of type resource, so it is used to create a resource, the arguments depends on the resource type. And in addition to arguments, further blocks can be nested in the block body with their associated arguments. Let's go back to the previous examples that we have discussed earlier to create a file and to declare an input variable. In the body of the resource block used to create a file, we have to specify two arguments, which are the file name argument and the content argument. You have to know that these arguments are not optional. So whenever we use the local file resource type, we have to mention these two arguments. Depending on the resource type that you are using, there are some arguments that are optional, so you can decide whether you want to specify them or not, and there are some arguments that are required, so they must be set in the resource block. For the second block that we have here, which is used to declare an input variable, we can't leave it empty because all the arguments of a block of type input are optional. But you can set some optional arguments. For example, you can set the type of the variable using the type argument, and you can give the variable a default value using the default argument. Finally, I want to tell you that the purpose of this lecture is to learn the basics of the HashiCorp Configuration Language and to be familiar with blocks and arguments, which are the cornerstone for writing Terraform configuration files. So you didn't need to focus a lot on the block types that we have seen here or the arguments that we have worked with. So just focus on what are arguments, what are blocks, and what we can put before and in the body of a block. And that's the purpose of this lecture. So I hope that everything is clear, and see you next time.